Hello and welcome to Learning Final Cut Pro version 10.2 with me, Adam Loretz, from the Filmmakers Workshop. In this video, we're going to take a look at three things: choosing the right Mac for your productions, some video production basics, and also the kind of hard drives and supplementary software you'll need to complete your projects. Why, I hear you ask, do we need to look at the hardware specifications for running Final Cut Pro 10? Well, whilst you can read the required specs on the Apple website, for many types of video production, it's useful to understand how Final Cut Pro taxes different Mac computers, and in understanding what kind of performance you're going to get can seriously influence the kind of computer you should buy to make your film. Whilst some Mac systems will have a limited performance, and by that I mean they will all edit 1080p video, dual-core machines with integrated graphics under 2 GB will struggle with compositing or complex sequences at full quality. The great news is that Final Cut Pro 10 has a very easy one-click method for alternating between a low-res, proxy editing workflow and your full-quality final film. 10 years ago, this offline and online workflow would have been a real challenge for new editors. However, Apple have changed all that and made the process really simple. Make no bones about it, video editing is a very taxing process for any computer, and Final Cut Pro utilizes every piece of hardware to optimize performance. Very simply, the more money you spend on your Mac, the better the spec, and the more significant increase you'll see in the performance you'll get in Final Cut Pro. Most certainly, the sweet spot in the Apple range right now is their 5K iMac, which features a very high resolution display, fast processors, and can be spec'd up with 4 GB of video RAM. This is particularly useful bearing in mind the current trend for shooting in 4K Ultra HD and delivering in HD. Here's an example to show you what I mean. As you can see, in high definition, the 4K footage is so high resolution you can zoom in and not lose quality. If you're planning to follow this workflow on a lower powered system with dual-core processors and less than 2 GB of video RAM, then your footage really will require transcoding into proxy files. The process of transcoding can take time and slow performance down if you try and edit at the same time. So choosing the correct system for the type of shooting and video quality you're planning to output is particularly important. If you're shooting at 4K and want to remain at full quality for editing, then you will need a powerful system, like the 5K iMac. If your Mac is more than 3 years old, I would suggest that before you purchase Final Cut Pro, you download the free trial version to ensure that your current Mac's performance can handle the kind of editing you wish to do. As well as my 5K iMac, I currently run a 2011 MacBook Pro quad-core 2.2 with 500 MB of video RAM and 16 gigs of RAM, and it's a perfectly decent mobile edit machine for 1080p projects. In summary, all Mac laptops make decent cutting stations. The 5K iMac is a more robust system for 4K editing, and the Mac Pro is simply a beast, capable of editing the most demanding projects. Whichever system you choose, you will need an external hard drive, and I wouldn't recommend anything less than a USB 3 drive. If you're doing larger projects, possibly in a group environment, then you would certainly need a dedicated striped or RAID system such as a Pegasus. Besides your edit drives, I would also recommend purchasing 2 identical backup drives to store your projects. If you're using Final Cut Pro to make money, then you need to safeguard your media assets, and so it's wise to clone your project libraries and keep one of the drives in another location from your editing suite. As part of the editing process, you will undoubtedly have to manipulate graphics, logos, and still images. The ability to retouch images and add alpha channels are essential skills if you need to turn projects around quickly. As such, you should look at purchasing image editing software such as Pixelmator or Affinity. Look out for my graphics tutorial later in the series when we'll look at titling and animation in Final Cut Pro 10. So, If you're looking to get to grips with Final Cut Pro 10.2, subscribe to this series where I'll be sharing with you over 15 years experience as a shooter and editor. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, check us out on Facebook and Twitter, where we'll be posting links to interviews with top filmmakers, the latest filmmaking news, and details of our filmmaking events. I'm Adam Loretz from the Filmmakers Workshop. Thanks for watching.